arrived at the popular Sepang International Circuit in Kuala Lumpur, just next door to an airport, for the running of the Malaysian Grand Prix, where it will be the first time the Grand Prix will be hosted towards the back end of the season. Coming into this race, where the Constructors' Championship could be decided this week, two huge team news have been dominating the news this week. The first team news of the day involves a huge return, as it has been announced that four-time race winner and current Renault test driver George Roth will be returning to the top class next season after spending this season in DTM, as he will be joining the American Haas team for 2017. George's career has been met with a lot of ups and downs, as during his career he has been left without a seat twice. However, George has proven that he is a man that doesn't give up, as this season in DTM has proved that. He currently lies third in the DTM Championship with a chance of winning the championship at the finale at Monza this Saturday. His signing to Haas next season is a blessed relief for George, as he looks to help Haas continue on the improvements the team has been making this season and hopefully stay in the top class for a lot longer than what he was last time. The only question remaining at Haas is who will be his teammate next season. Despite having a good second half of the season, Gabriel only put Haas as his second choice, with him putting Force India down as his first choice. However, with Force India retaining their current drivers for next season, which are Franco Lopez and Rick Yan, it has led people believing that Gabriel might have shot himself in the foot, given that there are other contenders for that seat who are currently in GP2. These drivers being Swiss driver Joel Hutter and current Ferrari test driver Jared Fosbury. It'll be very interesting to see who Haas choose to partner alongside George next season. The second and final team news we have today concerns Ferrari, as they have announced that four-time world champion and defending champion at the same time, Florian Volker, will remain at the team for a fourth successive season. Florian has had a very tricky defence of his title, which can only be described as his worst season in the top class, given how much bad luck the German has had this season. He currently lies 9th in the Drivers' Championship with only a total of 64 points to his name, and he currently finds himself behind both Force India drivers in the Drivers' Championship, which is why Force India themselves are currently winning the battle for third in the Constructors against Ferrari and Williams. Florian will be looking to put the disappointment of 2016 behind him and hope that Ferrari build a good enough car for him to get back in the title picture for 2017. His announcement means that Romain Quagg may find himself in a tricky spot, as a result of him choosing Ferrari as his number one choice and him not putting Williams in his choices at all, he could be in the unfortunate situation of him losing out on a drive for 2017. However, only time will tell what will happen to Romain's future. In other news, there is a chance that GP4OC could have a reshuffle in the schedule next season. Yuri announced during qualifying for his Comset series on Saturday that there is a chance that he could be moving to a new job, which could have an impact on the schedule that is currently being scheduled to be used for 2017. Nothing has been made official yet, as Yuri is currently undecided on whether he wants to take the new job or not. Once we have the confirmation from Yuri, we will let you know if there will be any tweaks to next season's schedule. And finally, in other news, speaking of the schedule, it has been announced that GP4 Formula EOC will have a change to qualifying for next season. It has been officially announced by the host of Tier 4 JWF1 that Formula E will be using the one-shot qualifying format from 2017. JWF1 has had the thought of the series using the format for quite a while, specifically since the beginning of the 2016 Formula E season. JWF1 has taken the decision to use the format in a bid to make the sessions even more interesting, especially if a driver makes a mistake during his lap, and more importantly in an attempt to erase the chance of traffic jams happening in the pit lane during the session, which at times led to drivers getting stuck in the pits for the remainder of the session. As a result of this format change, there has been a slight tweak to the Thursday schedule in order to accommodate one-shot qualifying. The qualifying session has been pushed forward to half an hour earlier, meaning that qualifying will start at 4:30 PM GMT/BST rather than 5 PM GMT/BST. The race, on the other hand, will remain at 7 PM GMT/BST, so no changes on that front. Again, this could all change with the prospect of Yuri potentially getting a new job, but only time will tell. It will be very interesting to see how the one-shot qualifying format will work for Formula E next season. And that is it for this week's edition of the GP4OC News. The next team news will break at the Japanese Grand Prix next week, who will be announced tuned to practice at Suzuka.